Yeah, here we go. Happy Wednesday to you. Welcome in. It's another edition of the Joe Raineri Show brought to you by WagerTalk.com. And we got some baseball tonight. If you haven't figured it out from the hat, then I don't know what to tell you. But yes, I am a Yankee fan, born, raised, grew up rooting for the Yankees. And for some reason, we have a 100-win team this year that is actually, for the very first time, I believe, in the playoffs in baseball history, that a 100-win team will have to actually compete in the wild card game. And that is the situation that we have tonight. The 100-win, 62-loss New York Yankees taking on the 97-win, 65-loss Oakland Athletics. The Bronx is the location. It is going to be crazy tonight in New York for this game. Gotta love the wild card games. Did you guys catch any of that Cubs game last night, by the way? Did you, what to go, 12, 13 innings? It didn't seem like either one of those two teams was ever going to score another run. They were bringing in starting pitchers, relievers, guys in Section 203, whoever they could find. They just kept bringing in to pitch. And then some dude who was, I think, 0 for his last 11 or 0 for 11 altogether in his last couple of weeks, hadn't had a hit in like 2 months, ends up getting the game-winning hit for the Colorado Rockies. They advance, and they're to be taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. But fun game to watch. Cubs fans are all just looking at themselves today. They are sad. They are drinking. They're mad at the world. They can't figure it out. They have fired Joe Madden. And, man, oh, man, did you guys catch a load of the shape of Joe Madden, by the way? I mean, honestly, like from the side, the dude looked pregnant. Like, I don't know what's going on. A lot of steak dinners there in Chicago. Joe Madden is not hitting the treadmill. The man has put on a good 40 pounds. He is either with child or he is a fat bastard. It's one or the other. And I can tell you, it's not looking good for Madden, especially from a team that has that much firepower in the lineup, could not score more than one run. 2 games they had. They had 2 chances to win that National League Central. And against the Brewers, 1 run. And against the Colorado Rockies last night, again, 1 run. So you got nobody to blame but yourself. And hats off to the Colorado Rockies. I mean, the great job. 3 games in a row on the road, 3 different time zones, and you still managed to get the job done. Rooting for the Rockies as they take on the Brewers. Kind of hard not to root for either one of those teams, the Milwaukee Brewers or the Colorado Rockies. 2 teams that you don't often see in this position, but they are here, and it's what makes baseball so much fun. I think that was the first playoff game that Colorado's won since 2008, 2009, or maybe even before that, 2007. I'd have to double-check that. But congratulations to the Rockies. Baseball, October, it is here, and we get another wild card game tonight between the Yankees and the Oakland A's. And we'll go ahead. We'll start giving you what you need to know about this game. Lineups are out. Starting pitchers are out. So we know what we're looking into. The thing that we don't know, or what I didn't know until I just looked up a few minutes ago, was where the game is being broadcast. Last night was on ESPN, and for some reason, baseball's burying this on TBS tonight. And did you guys even know that TBS is carrying the games? I didn't. I'd have been clicking all over the place looking for it. I thought for sure, with the amount of money that ESPN has spent on baseball rights, that they would have had the game, but they don't. It's over on TBS because I'm sure they're going to be sucking LeBron's ass and showing you some pregame or preseason NBA basketball and with LeBron James, because that's the only chance that they have of actually making money. In fact, they released, I don't know if you guys saw this, LeBron played last night, the Lakers played last night, and we do have some footage of what was going on in Los Angeles last night when LeBron James was playing. So you guys can take a look at this. If I can get it to play, it'll be wonderful. Yeah, there we go. Here it was. Yep. LeBron made a layup, and there it is. Yep. That's the entire city of Los Angeles there, who will have nothing else to root for the entire year because they're not even going to make the playoffs. That team looks abysmal outside of LeBron James. So good luck. You got LeBron. There'll be a whole lot of people tuning in to watch an 8th seed at best team in the NBA this year. So congratulations. You're going to be watching some terrible basketball, but LeBron James is what moves the needle. And I guess that's why they're going to go ahead and show games like that instead of, wild card winning you're in, games like tonight, like we're having. You're going to bury that on TBS for some reason. But if you're looking for it, that's where it's going to be tonight. So good luck. I'm not even sure who's doing the broadcast because I can't listen to Alex Rodriguez call. I don't know what happened to him. Man, that was a rough listen to last night with A-Rod. Between the whole Arenado and Baez hugging at third base and him saying like he's never seen anything like this before. He was wrong on a number of the different calls that he was talking about in that game. I don't know what it is with broadcasting and ESPN, who has ruined Monday Night Football as far as I'm concerned. It's unlistenable between Booger McFarland and Witten and poor Joe Tessitore, who's stuck in there, and even he is a hard listen to after a while. Feels like a damn carnival barker. It's very hard to listen to. Jason Witten is just, it's not even close. And then Booger McFarland doesn't know when to shut up. He just keeps throwing his 2 cents in, and he's in like a box on the field that they put him in. They won't even let him up in the booth with him. He hangs out on the field in a box for some reason and can't watch Monday Night Football. And it's getting to the point with ESPN that Jessica Mendoza and A-Rod, it's a tough listen to. Any which way you cut it, it is a tough listen to. I'm not sure who's going to be on the call tonight for TBS. It should be it'll be very interesting to see who they have there. I think we'll double check and see who we have. But it's the Yankees and it's the Oakland Athletics, and we want to welcome in the peeps that are joining us in our brand new streaming platform. We got a brand new feed heading out on Twitch. So for those of you that are catching us on Twitch for the very first time, welcome in. Thank you very much for making the Joe Raineri Show, brought to you by WagerTalk.com, a part of your day. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys all on there. You can follow us. Please follow us. Subscribe. Tell your friend. Rate us. Do all the good things that you do on Twitch. We welcome you guys in. Thank you very much for hanging out with us here tonight. And then, of course, our peeps here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live and, of course, Twitter. It is always a pleasure to see and hang out with you guys. Now, tonight, Major League Baseball. We got it, people. We've got it. Yankees, first team ever to win 100 games, having to compete in a wild card. This will be the third wild card for the Yankees. Now, Yankee fans will tell you they remember Dallas Keuchel back in 2015 just annihilating the Yankees in the Bronx. They couldn't get so much as the bat on the ball with him. Houston eventually went on to win the World Series there, and then they did beat the Twins last year, even though Severino started that game and couldn't get out of the first inning. And I know Yankee fans are hoping that he gets a little bit better outing this time in a wild card than he did against the Twins last year. 19 of the 25 Yankee players that were on that squad last year in the wild card are on this team still. So the Yankees, without a doubt, are much more experienced than what the Oakland Athletics are. In fact, the Oakland Athletics last played a game against the Royals in 2014 in the playoffs. That was their wild card game back in 2014, and there's only one dude on the team that was on that squad, and that is Jed Lowry. Otherwise, the entire Oakland A's roster has been turned over since 2014. What a shock, right? What a big shock there with little old with Moneyball, Mr. Billy Bean there, who every 4 years manages to put out teams like this. It's absolutely crazy. Jonathan LaCroix, though, he was on the Rockies last year, and Jarius Familia, Met fans will tell you, back in 2016. Those are the only other two guys on this team that have any playoff experience. But in reality, playoff experience means nothing in this particular situation, because we have seen year after year, time after time, that the team with the most experience would get their asses handed to them by a team with a bunch of guys that you've never heard of, much like the Oakland A's. And we've seen inexperienced teams beat experienced teams time and time again. It's a one-game elimination. That's it. Win and you are in, and experience, not necessarily the one thing that is going to make or break either way in this particular game tonight. The series in the season, they split it. They played, I do believe they played 2 3-game series during the regular season. The Yankees won 2 of 3 at Yankee Stadium back in May. The A's won 2 of 3 at the Oakland Coliseum past month in September. So this is going to be a very interesting game tonight, where we know Severino's going to be on the mound for the Yankees. And we know that the Oakland A's are going with the whole, let's start the bullpen. They're going with their reliever to start that game. So it's going to be bullpen, committee, whoever they can get out there, but they are going to start their relief pitcher, which isn't all that unheard of with the Oakland A's. We've seen this with the Cubs and with Terry Francona and the Indians, and Tampa Bay has done this. We've seen this in the past, where in games like this in the playoffs, you start your relief pitchers, and Oakland has no choice due to the fact that pretty much the entire starting rotation at some point has been on the DL this year. They have been decimated by injuries, and the fact that they won 97 games with all of those pitchers being on the DL, hats off to Bob Melvin and the Oakland Athletics organization, Billy Ball there, for putting together this roster and this team, and winning 97 games and getting yourself to this particular position is pretty crazy. And so they deserve all the credit in the world, especially since your entire starting rotation has spent multiple times they've been on the DL. So crazy there. You are going to see, as far as both of these teams go, you are going to see an awful lot of home runs. And whether or not you'll get them tonight will remain to be seen, although usually in these types of situations in October, if you get the ball in the air at Yankee Stadium, chances are it's going to go out. But keep this in mind. The Yankees set Major League Baseball's record this year, 267 home runs. The number 3 team in that category was the Oakland Athletics. They hit 227 home runs. This team actually has the lowest ground ball rate in baseball history this year. The Athletics only hit a ground ball 39.7% of the time. That is crazy. The Yankees were 9th, by the way, just about 42%. The Major League Baseball average for ground ball rates, 43%. So they are well under the Oakland Athletics. They get the ball in the air, which is why they hit 227 home runs. You hit a ball in the air hard at Yankee Stadium in October, good things are going to happen. The question is that going to happen tonight? The Yankees have 6 players that have at least 20 or more home runs this year, which is, I think, number 1 through 9 in the batting order for the first time with the New York Yankees, have all had at least 20 or more home runs this year in those batting positions, which is nuts. Gary Sanchez is playing for the Yankees. Why is that an issue? Because he sucked. And I don't know how else to put it, Gary. Gary, this was a beyond brutal year for Gary Sanchez. He hit 186, folks. 186 with an 86 OPS. Just awful. Absolutely awful. He did have 18 home runs in 89 games, but it's the second lowest batting average in franchise history among players with at least 300 plate appearances. So the other problem, and the other reason why a lot of people were questioning whether Austin Romine would start with this game, is because he also sucked behind the plate. He led Major League Baseball in passed balls with 18 of them. And you guys may recall that there was a bit of an issue when they played the A's in September, where he ended up getting crossed up with Severino a couple of times. There were pass balls that ended up costing them some runs and costing them the game. So those 2 pass balls, 2 wild pitches in the first inning alone in that game back in September has a lot of people scratching their head going, why are we? It's bad enough to Yankee fans that you're going with the unknown with Luis Severino instead of J.A. Happ, who tends to put the ball on the ground and keep the ball in the park, or Tanaka, a little more experience as far as the really unknown in Luis Severino. Not to mention you're throwing Sanchez behind the plate. I hope it works out. Obviously, with the hat that I'm wearing, I hope it works out. But there are a lot of Yankee fans going, yeah. Cashman, the organization, all behind Sanchez, but there were a lot of people calling for Austin Romine to start this game and not Sanchez, much less Luis Severino. But he did go 4 for his last 12, by the way, in the final week of the season. He had a double, 2 homers, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts in the final 4 regular season games. So it might be a situation where maybe he's starting to get his eye back. He's starting to feel it. And we'll see tonight. He could be the unsung, he could certainly be the unsung hero. But this game is going to be all about the bullpens. Both of these teams, the A's and the Yankees, are built from the bullpen up. I don't even know if that's possible, but yes, built from the bullpen up. No matter what happens, it's going to come down to the bullpens tonight. We already know the Athletics, the A's are going with their bullpen to start this game. The Yankees will have Severino, but they will pull the hook. He only went 1 inning last year against the Twins, so they're not worried to go into their bullpen. Both of these bullpens are loaded and have done an amazing job this year. You got Zach Britton, Dylan Betances, David Robertson, Holder, Chad Green, and you got this other kid, Stephen Tarpley, coming as a left-handed specialist since they haven't had one all year. And really the big problem for the Yankees is no Aroldis Chapman. He's in kind of a state of flux because he returned from the disabled list just about 2 weeks ago. He did have a knee injury, and the Yankees have been taking it real easy with him. They haven't been pushing him at all. So Boone did indicate that they could continue to kind of slow the brakes a little bit on using him, and I don't see how they'll go to him tonight. They've got enough in that bullpen. Thank goodness they went out and got Zach Britton. But between Betances and Britton, Robertson, Holder, and even Chad Green, they got plenty of firepower out of that bullpen if they're going to need some. If Severino doesn't make it past, 3rd or 4th inning or somewhere along those lines. Welcome in, by the way, guys. If you're joining us, it's the Joe Raineri Show here, brought to you by WagerTalk.com. WagerTalk.com is probably the place to go if you're ever thinking about betting on sports. No better place to go than WagerTalk.com. They've got about a dozen of the world's greatest professional sports handicappers available to you there, not to mention all sorts of free information, the kind of information, the trends, the stats that you guys need in order to be able to make intelligent, smart decisions before putting your money down and probably losing anyway. No, I'm only kidding. WagerTalk.com is where you guys got to go if you're thinking about playing a little action tonight on the game or maybe over the weekend or Thursday night football, whatever it is. Great information. Head over to wagertalk.com. And as always, we will talk to our friends from wagertalk.com tomorrow here on the show. We'll talk to the legend Ralph Michaels. He'll go out and lay down some of his favorite picks, help you make some money. He went 4-0 on the show last week, by the way. So I would definitely write it down and remind yourselves, come and join us 4 o'clock tomorrow. Ralph Michaels, wagertalk.com. The legendary Ralph Michaels, sports handicapper, will be joining us on the show tomorrow. A lot of strikeouts with the bullpen for the Yankees. It's going to come down to the bullpens. Any which way we cut it, it's going to come down to the bullpens tonight. Both of these teams built around them. Who's hot for the Yankees? Aaron Hicks, Andrew McCutchen. Giancarlo Stanton has all of a sudden started to come around the last couple of weeks of the season. And Luke Voit. Do not overlook Luke Voit, who the Yankees got in a bargain from the St. Louis Cardinals. And I remember this guy with the Cardinals. Big dude. They just didn't have any place for him in St. Louis, but they certainly have a place for him here in New York. And this is a guy that is, thank goodness, taking the place of Greg Bird as the starting first baseman. McCutchen came over on August 31st. Luke Voit came over just at the deadline, too, in that deal. So the Yankees made some really interesting moves at the end of the year to be able to bolster and give themselves an opportunity to be in this game right now and give themselves a shot at winning. So I expect those two guys to actually play a role moving forward. Not only winning tonight, but actually going in against Boston. I think it's a whole different added dimension, and I could not be more happy that Brian Cashman decided, instead of staying put like he normally does, that Cashman went out and made some moves here that were spot on. And McCutchen and Voit, keep an eye on them tonight and see what happens there. The Yankees also finished the year pretty damn hot, as a matter of fact. So I think they rattled off 11 wins in their last 14 games. And the Oakland Athletics, not so much. They were 7-7 in their final 14, but they scored a boatload of runs. They scored 96 runs in those 14 games. So that included a 22-run game against the Angels and a 16-run game against the Seattle Mariners during the final stretch there of the regular season. So they've got some guys also that are pretty damn hot. Chris Davis, Nick Martini, and also another former Cardinal, Stephen Biscotti. Could you imagine how good the Cardinals might have been if they would have kept some of these damn players and then they would have fired Mike Matheny prior to just the middle of the season? The Cardinals could have been the number one seed in all of Major League Baseball. But Stephen Piscotty, total hot streaks, been hitting the damn cover off the ball, especially the last two, actually the entire second half. The guy has been on fire. He's hitting .285 with 14 doubles, 12 home runs in 51 games since August 1st. The guy has been impossible to get out. You think Christian Yelich has been hot, and he has been. Stephen Biscotti has been crazy on fire since August 1st. So got a great swing. He's got a lot of power, and he is a guy that the Yankees are going to have to work around in this lineup. Not to mention Chris Davis, but Chris Davis only batted .220. Stephen Piscotty is a .300 hitter, and so is Nick Martini. So the A's coldest player, Matt Chapman, just hitting .227. 47 plate appearances these last 2 weeks, and he has been abysmal. And overall production, very good throughout the year, but the last couple of weeks, he has been ice cold. So that's kind of what you're looking at here tonight, guys. It's going to be who can get out in front, and trying to get the starting pitchers and get into the bullpen is not necessarily a great tactic here for either one of these squads, because the strength of both of these teams lies in the bullpen. So they are very evenly matched, believe it or not, these two teams. They love the long ball. They can both score runs in bunches, and they both have bullpens that are over the top good. So this is a coin flip in a lot of metrics and a lot of situations. You look at both of these lineups here tonight, and I do believe the lineups are out, right? Let's see where the Oakland A's, what are they going with? Martini first, Chapman second, Jed Lowry third, Chris Davis fourth, Matt Olson playing first base fifth, Biscotti right field sixth, Ramon Laureano, the center fielder, seventh, Marcus Simeon, shortstop, Jonathan LaCroix, and then Liam Hendricks coming out of the bullpen to start this game. And the Yankees are going to go at McCutchen, Judge, Hicks, Stanton, Luke Voit in the fifth spot, Didi 6, Miguel Andujar, your rookie of the year, Sanchez coming in at 8, and then Gleyber Torres coming in at 9, Severino on the mound. Severino, by the way, keep this in mind. This was an interesting bit of information here. Severino now joins Madison Bumgarner and John Lester as the only pitchers to start 2 wild card games. We told you last year, Twins didn't work out all that well because he didn't make it out of the first inning, but they are certainly hoping for a better outcome tonight. We all are hoping for a better outcome tonight from Luis Severino. But this is a potent lineup. Both of these lineups are pretty damn crazy, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I think we can all agree if Severino is on, if we get the Luis Severino of the first half of the season, Yankee fans, it's going to be a good night. If Severino only goes a couple of innings, well, then we're going to the bullpen, and then it could be a free-for-all. Who knows? But I think if Severino is on, going to be very hard to hit. If he can keep the ball in the ballpark, it's going to favor the Yankees without a doubt, especially in the Bronx. The only problem with the Oakland A's, if you are a Yankee fan, is keep this in mind. they are a better team on the road this year than they were at home. And what do I mean by that is that they won almost 47, 48 games on the road this year. So they are a very good road team, and they've had success at Yankee Stadium in the past. They're not going to be intimidated. We know this. Being on the road for the Oakland A's, it's great to be at home, but this is not a team that is going to be that they're going to be thrown off because they don't have home field advantage. And by the way, what the hell does that mean? Ask the Cubs. All right, how did that work out for the Cubs there and their home field advantage last night? Joe Madden got his steak, so it doesn't really matter. Hendricks tonight for the Oakland A's. He's their best bullpen guy anyway. He's the best relief pitcher. And the last time he actually faced the Yankees, he got 3 up and 3 down in the first inning on September 4th. So there is some familiarity here between the pitcher and the Yankees. They're going to get a chance to see him again. And, boy, wouldn't it be fun if we got Fernando Rodney, Jeurys Familia. We get to see these guys, and I think we will because it's going to be all hands on deck tonight with the Oakland A's. We're going to get to see some classics taking the mound in this game. So it should be fun, and congratulations to the A's. Either way, amazing year. 97 wins on a team that – which is crazy to me, watched the majority of their pitchers their starting pitchers end up on the DL is crazy that they've been doing this whole start the bullpen routine for a while now, and it's only because they had to because of how beat up their starting pitching has been. They lost a ton of players to the DL list, including most of their starting pitchers throughout the year. So this is going to be fun. They've done a great job. Thank goodness they can score some runs, and they can score some runs, folks. They can score a lot of runs. I don't happen to think this is going to be an 11-10 game or 9-8 game. To me, this is probably going to be one of those, just like we witnessed last night, 3-2, 2-1, maybe 4-3 kind of games. I do think the over-under, last I saw, the over-under earlier today for home runs in a game, it was originally opened up at 2.5, and then it bounced up. There must have been an awful lot of money coming in. Some of the books had it at 3.5, the home runs, and I don't think we're going to see that. For as much, baseball gods are a very funny thing. You've got a lineup on both sides of guys that can park it, hit it 500 feet into center field there, and when it comes down to it, chances are nobody will, and we'll end up having one of those 3-2 pitching battles. The bullpens will come in. The pitchers will be fantastic, and runs will become a premium, and it will be who strikes out less. That's the kind of game that I see tonight, but I do think home field advantage. I do think the Yankees are in the place that they want to be, and it would be nice after winning 100 games that they didn't have to play in this, but it's okay. The Yankees at home, they wanted this. They were one of the hottest teams down the stretch the last couple of weeks of the season. So I can definitely see Yankees winning 3-2, low scoring. I don't think there's going to be any home runs. So I think if you can get the home run total 2.5 to 3.5, I would go under because I don't think there's going to be an awful lot of home runs. I think pitching is going to dominate tonight, and you're going to see a lot of it. And it's going to be fun. Britton and not Chapman is going to be getting the save tonight too, by the way. I don't think they're going to have to get past this game tonight without having to use Chapman because they are going to need Chapman against the Boston Red Sox as they move forward there. Another bit of baseball information in case you didn't see it or you didn't get it. Buck Showalter no longer the manager of the Baltimore Orioles. In fact, Buck Showalter has been relieved of all duties. They say he's not going to have any role in the organization, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday with Paul Molitor being relieved of his duties with the Minnesota Twins, Mike Scioscia stepping down with the Angels, and I had said to you, this is the beginning of the end for the old school, old-timer baseball managers who are, the guys that, sabermetrics, my ass, I've been watching baseball my whole life. Nobody knows better than I know, that kind of attitude. And we've pretty much seen now in the last week, the 3 leftover old school guys are no longer employed in Major League Baseball by their teams. And that is because baseball is now run by general managers and by mathematicians and by MIT grads, these 35-year-old dudes that are basically all about analytics. And analytics is ruling baseball. It has taken it over, and managers are just their afterthoughts. They are second. They are there to go, who am I starting tonight? What is the lineup card I'm filling out? And they wait for the guys upstairs to be able to send the lineup cards down. And that's what you've got here. Their job is to babysit players, to make sure that they manage the egos in the clubhouse. But as far as the actual lineups and what we're going to do and who's going to play and the moves we're going to make, welcome to the new era of baseball where it's all about metrics and it's all about analytics, and the Mike Sochas of the world, the Buck Showalters of the world. Yeah, there's not a place for you in Major League Baseball anymore. So you guys will go kicking and screaming, and you'll be sitting on that lawn chair and screaming at those little bastard kids in the neighborhood to get off your lawn. But baseball has now moved to all about numbers and to sabermetrics, and there's no arguing with it, because look at what the Oakland A's have done with a team filled of a bunch of people. If you ran them over in the street, you would have no idea who they are. And young team, no idea who they are, overturned. And I told you in the beginning, too, if you're just joining us, by the way, welcome in. Happy Wednesdays. We get ready for a little wild card baseball once again. Yankees taking on the Oakland A's. 97 wins here, and there is only one guy on this team, the Oakland Athletics team, Jed Lowry, that was on the team when they last made the playoffs, which was back in 2014. So in 4 years, the entire organization, the entire roster has been overturned. And the Yankees last year, they've got 17 of the 25 that were on the team last year are on the team again this year. So you've got 2 different things going on here, but it just goes to show you that you can overturn a roster every 3 or 4 years and still be productive and successful in Major League Baseball without having a $200 million payroll. And we've seen the Marlins do it a number of times. Maybe we'll see that again in the next couple of years, but I can tell you right now that's where the Marlins are heading, just like everybody else. They don't want to have to spend $200 million, especially in the small markets. They'll go ahead and bring in the sabermetric guys, and they'll go ahead and try and put a team together and try to copy Billy Beane like they've been trying to do for years. And they'll be $60 million, $70 million, $80 million rosters who can win 95, 96 games and make a wild card. Organizations will take that all day long. Unfortunately, fans may not stick around long enough to be able to witness the fruit of the labor there that goes into that. All right, coming up, we've got some NFL headlines that I want to go over with you as well. Do want to welcome once again our new peeps on Twitch. Thank you very much for making us a part of your day. Welcome in. Make sure you guys subscribe, hang out with us. Even after the show, we're going to go ahead and do a Q&A there on Twitch to welcome in the new viewers and the new watchers and the new followers. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for you crazy, lunatic, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter, Periscope guys that hang out with us each and every day. Don't go anywhere. We've got some NFL news. The latest is Des Bryant coming back to the NFL, and it pays to wipe your ass with a football. I know what you're saying. We will go over all of that. We'll do that coming up. But first, do want to thank our good friends over at Miami Acura for making this whole shindig here a possibility. They want you to take a test drive. The all-new 2019 RDX. Go take it for a test drive. Completely redesigned. The damn car drives itself. South Dixie Highway, Palmetto Bay. For those of you in the 305 in Miami, those of you outside of the 305 and have no idea who Pitbull is, you can hit them up at 855-564-4669. If you are in the market for a new car, that is the place to go. The deal, especially the lease deals right now, are out of control. Only at Miami Acura. That's where you go to take a test drive. Go check it out. The all-new 2019 RDX. All right, we got a few more of our sponsors we got to thank. In 2.5 minutes, we'll come back. We'll run down the latest in the NFL, and we'll let you know exactly what's happening with Des Bryant. That is coming up next.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and cut the cable and save with Dish TV. Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? I don't think so. Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. That's 800-293-0328.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-761-1427. 800-761-1427. 800-761-1427. That's 800-761-1427.
Get ready to talk sports. It's the Say It With Me podcast. Now here's your host, Joe Raineri.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome back in. It's the Joe Raineri Show, brought to you by WagerTalk.com for all the information that you could ever need on placing a bet and wagering on sports. There is only one place. It is WagerTalk.com. They have all the best free information, not to mention access to a dozen or more of the world's greatest and most professional sports handicappers. All there. You have access to them. All you have to do is visit wagertalk.com. All right, we're excited here because we got some baseball tonight, wild card baseball. The New York Yankees getting ready to take on the Oakland Athletics. That is right. The Oakland Athletics team filled with a bunch of guys nobody has ever heard of, and yet they somehow managed to win 97 games tonight. That's right, 97 games. The Yankees won 100 games. First time in Major League Baseball history that a 100-win team, reverse that. 100-win team has got to play in the wild card in order to advance, and the winner gets the pleasure of taking on the Boston Red Sox. Now, as good a story as this is, can we all agree that What really Major League Baseball wants is the Yankees to win this series. The Oakland A's, as nice a story as it is, it should end tonight because nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to watch the Red Sox and the A's play moving forward. The Yankees and Red Sox will be must-watch television across the board. From a rating standpoint, from a revenue standpoint, I can promise you they'll never admit it, but Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred, and they are all huddled in the office, and they are praying tonight that the New York Yankees pull this out and advance so we can get ourselves Yankees, Red Sox. The rivalry lives. And I'll tell you another group of people that are going to be so excited and hoping that the Yankees win for different reasons, and that is New York sports fans. Because if you think about this, okay, New York sports fans, if the Yankees don't win tonight, you will have absolutely nothing to be excited about until opening day 2019. Because you are now going to be stuck with watching the Jets play, watching the Giants try and play. Then you've got to, oh, that's right, you got the Knicks. That should be a boatload of fun to watch this year. And then let's not forget the Islanders and the Rangers. The Islanders, am I Brooklyn? Am I Long Island? Am I Brooklyn? Am I Long Island? I don't know. Oh, my God, let's trade away the greatest player ever to play for the franchise. The Rangers, same situation. You've got nothing. Buffalo Bills, really? Good Christ. And I don't even want to add those into the New York category. But, yes, even Buffalo Bill fans, nope. Mets, really? We've got nothing to be excited about in New York. And don't say Brooklyn. I knew you were going to say it over there. Yes, no, John, no Brooklyn, no Nets either. New York needs the Yankees to win and to continue to move down the road here, hopefully into the World Series, because otherwise New York sports fans are going to be mired in a year-long slump of watching paint dry with all of those other franchises and those other teams that are not even remotely in the same category or competitive like the New York Yankees. So Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred needs the Yankees to win so we can get Yankees, Red Sox, and New York sports fans. I'm with you. I am with you. You need the Yankees to advance because otherwise it's going to be a year of frustration, aggravation, throwing shit, breaking things, screaming, yelling. You know it and I know it. Yankees have to win to save an entire community of New York-based sports fans. You just have to do it. So, and I hope the A's understand that. No hard feelings. Oakland, great story. It'll be a great story. It's Billy Bean. It's wonderful, but nobody really wants to see you advance from here outside of the 6 people who went to your games all year in Oakland. Let's be reasonable. The money, the excitement is with the Yankees advancing. And if you like the Yankees, great. If you hate the Yankees, it's even better. You want the Yankees to advance so you yourself have something to scream and yell at and be passionate about as we move along trying to get to a World Series game that is probably going to end up into November, which is also a little strange to me that we're probably looking at playing the World Series in November once again. I don't know. Kind of weird. Also kind of weird is what the hell is going on with Dez Bryant. Did you guys see this? Dez has apparently taken to Twitter, and he was answering. I guess somebody had said, "Hey, where you going to play? Where you going?" And he made he tweeted back that if he's not going, he wants to play for the Cowboys. Basically, he's saying that it's either Cowboys or bust at this point. He'd rather play for the Cowboys. And listen, I get it. I get it. Dez is kind of made his own grave here. He kind of, opened mouth, inserted foot, and nobody else was interested. The Baltimore Ravens wanted him, and let us not forget, he shrugged his, he did one of these, fly swat things with the Baltimore Ravens when they offered him a contract. He didn't want anything to do with that. He was going to play the field. He went and visited, who can forget, the Hard Knocks visit by Des Bryant to Cleveland that, he came into the building and shook everybody's hand, including the janitors in that building, and then left without a contract. And hell, they got rid of everybody in their organization from a wide receiving standpoint that was any good, and they still didn't sign Des Bryant. And he turned down the Baltimore Ravens, who, by the way, can we get over this now? The Baltimore Ravens are going to be a playoff team in the AFC. That offense is no joke. And the defense, and I've got some numbers here for you too, I'll share. The defense is even better than the offense. It's back to that Ravens defense of old. Their new defensive coordinator, hats off, man. Hats off what they've been able to do, especially at home. And they dismantled the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you turned them down, Des. Like, they wanted you on the team, and you turned them down because you thought there were going to be other options. But here you go, 5 weeks into the NFL season, and there are no other options. So if you are Jerry Jones, what do? Do you bite the bullet? Do you let bygones be bygones? Do you bring Des Bryant back? Do you give him another chance? Let us not forget, this didn't end very well to begin with. And Dallas, we all know, from now over the next 10 years is going to rue the day that they didn't draft Calvin Ridley when they had the opportunity to. But they need all the wide receiver help they can get because if you're going, Tavon Austin is your main, or actually if Ezekiel Elliott is your main receiving target, you've got issues. Yeah, well, you've got plenty of issues. So if you're Jerry Jones, do you bite the bullet and take Des back and go, come on, Des, come on back, come back home, all right? Come back home. Or does Jason Garrett and Dak Prescott and everyone else in that organization go, as much as he says he's a new man, this Des, he's going to get on that sideline and he's going to bitch and moan and be the diva that he always has been, and he's going to cause more problems than he is worth. As much as you need wide receiving help, and let us not forget, Des Bryant, even at 104 years old, he is still a major upgrade over everything else that they have on that team. He will make them better from the wide receiver position. But do you risk it? Do you risk bringing him in and just being a total distraction? And you don't need any more distractions in Dallas. But do you do it? They are the worst wide receiving core in the league. Dak has no downfield threat, and Des wants in. So do you do it? I wouldn't go anywhere near this. I would say, hell no. He can go on Twitter and tell everybody what a changed person he is and how he just wants to help people win and all of that good stuff. Yeah, no. The minute that Dak Prescott overshoots him or doesn't look his way, he is going to bitch and moan and jump up and down and cause an issue on that team. I would not. You moved on for him. You made your bed, so let's everybody lay in it and just move on. But Des, you created this problem, my friend. This was all you, all right? This was all you. It's nobody else's fault but your own. Welcome in. If you're just joining us here on this Wild Card Wednesday, we are excited. Brought to you by WagerTalk.com. It is the Joe Raineri Show. By the way, that is the number up top for you to be able to reach us. The Miami Acura hotline, 855-WTF-2255. That is the number here on the show. 855-WTF-2255. Who do you guys think is going to win the game tonight? Who do you got? You got the Yankees. You got the A's. Who are you hoping is going to be able to pull off the victory here tonight? 855-WTF-2255. And by the way, congratulations to Isaiah Crowell, who did an amazing job of getting himself an endorsement after being fined for wiping his ass with the football. You guys all remember the play, right, against Cleveland Browns. He goes in, and his celebration was he took the football, he wiped his ass with it. Well, he was fined $13,000 for that celebration. Yeah, and it turns out he ended up getting an endorsement from a ass paper company. And I can't believe it myself, but let me see if we can get on this. Yeah, this is him. This was Yeah, there he is. Look at all that. A lot of ass. Look at all the ass wipes that he ended up getting from this company, I guess. They said Debbie Crowell, his wife, said, well, I didn't like it as a mother, but I'm certainly excited because I'm never going to have to buy toilet paper ever again. So congratulations to him. He ends up wiping his ass with a football. He gets fined, and now look at a lifetime supply of ass paper is what he ended up getting. So congratulations, Isaiah Crowell, who says that getting fined for these touchdown celebrations doesn't eventually pay off, because it certainly paid off for him. So way to go, Isaiah Crowell. A little Dolphins update for those of you. The Miami Dolphins are their offensive line. They are looking for help. So if you guys know anybody, Adam Gase has opened up a hotline, and he said if you know anybody that might be able to block or be able to put on the pads and block for them, that would be great. The Dolphins offense, the numbers now are coming out, and it's been absolutely atrocious. Miami is going 3 and out 27.7% of the time. That is terror. Actually, it's the 4th worst in the NFL. The other 5 teams at the bottom: Cleveland, San Francisco, Arizona, Seattle, and Buffalo. They're a combined 5-14-1 for a record. None of them is above 500, but the Dolphins are 3-1. Okay, and Tannehill in the first quarter this season, he ranks 34th in QBR with a 79.5. He's got 89 yards, 16 of 22 passing, no touchdowns. And oh yeah, by the way, Kenyon Drake has been stuffed on 24% of his runs, which is well above the league average. And I know Dolphin fans have been screaming and yelling, why are we not giving the ball to Kenyon Drake? Well, when he's being stuffed almost a quarter of the time, every time he touches the ball, you tend to want to be able to go away from that, and it's not going to get any better. They lost their center. They're bringing in guys off the street at this point to try and make patchwork here. It is a mess, the Dolphins offense, and now they got to go on the road to take on a Cincinnati Bengals defense that is going to be ferocious. I believe they have Vontaze Burfict back too, Geno Atkins. The Dolphins are going to have their hands full, especially with a makeshift offensive line, and if they don't start getting off to a better start, and they don't start, converting on some of these third downs, then those might be the 3 only wins the Miami Dolphins have all year long. So they've got to do something right away. I had mentioned the Ravens defense earlier. Keep this in mind. The Ravens defense in the second half of games thus far this year, they have yet to allow a second-half touchdown and just 9 second-half points all year long in the second half. That is crazy. The only other team that's comparable to that are the Washington Redskins. That is nuts when you think about it. They've only allowed 20 points in the second half alone. That is in 4 games. That is so good. And you know what that tells me? And what it should tell you is that the second half adjustments, the halftime adjustments by the coaching staff of the Baltimore Ravens, Don Martindale, the new defensive coordinator there, hats off to you, my friend. To be able to do that in the second half of games is what it is all about. They are giving up only 3.9 yards per play in the second half. The NFL average is 5.5. So the different types of blitz schemes, the ability to make the adjustments based upon what the offense is doing that you're playing, and to be able to shut people down after halftime is exactly what the Baltimore Ravens are doing. The Baltimore Ravens are a dark horse. I don't know what they are right now on the futures, but if you can get them at 40, 50, 60, 70 to 1, you've got yourself a bargain there. The Ravens are no joke. I mean, no joke. And keep that in mind. Also keep in mind, because if you're betting second halves at all, I wouldn't do anything until you go to wagertalk.com. But if you are betting second halves, keep in mind, the Ravens don't give up a lot of yards or points. However, the Raiders are giving up almost 7.5 yards per play in the second half, and they've allowed the most second half points, 89 in their 4 games. That's both of those numbers are the worst in the NFL. So second half betting, there's a good chance the over will hit with the Raiders alone. And if you are looking at second half bets, the Baltimore Ravens, yeah, they're not giving up points. They're much less yardage in the second half. So keep that in mind there. And one other bit of information I wanted to give you. Oh, that's right. By the way, Jordan Phillips quit on the Dolphins, or he was released one way or the other. You know, you want to talk about no self-awareness. Here's a guy, Jordan Phillips, was a second-round draft pick in 2005. He was bitching and moaning so much in the game against the New England Patriots that they ended up having to cut him. But he wanted more playing time. He didn't want to be taken out of the game. But you want to know, when I mean no self-awareness, this guy is the metrics here and the numbers and statistics based upon him being on the field are absolutely terrible. They are terrible. There's a reason why he wasn't on the field, but don't tell him that. He seems to think that he should have been out on the field. But now he's going to try to figure out exactly where he's going to play now because the numbers weren't great. And I know he was thankful that he left, went on to his Instagram account and told everyone on his Instagram story how he's free at last. Well, let me know how that works out for you, man. Let me know where you land up there on a team that could use a defensive lineman who can't stop, can't hit water if it fell out of a boat. So let me know how that works out for you there. Good old Jordan Phillips. In fact, we've got a live view of what's happening in Davie, Florida from Miami Dolphin headquarters. Let's check it out right now. Yep, there it is. That's your Miami Dolphins. That's right now. I believe that's the team picture. That is the team picture right there of your Miami Dolphins. That's the offensive line and Jordan Phillips all in one picture. So I'm glad we were able to get that. One last note that I wanted to give before we get ready to give way and get ready to watch some baseball tonight. And don't forget, TBS is the location of this game. Major League Baseball is doing a whole hide and seek. Find the game. Don't. It's not going to be where you think it is. It's keep in mind it's over here. It's not on ESPN because we're watching preseason NBA basketball because it's LeBron James. And by the way, if you haven't seen last night, this is what it looked like when LeBron James scored his first basket. Yeah. I knew you were going to like that. Yeah. Yeah, they're really excited in L.A. about LeBron James, certainly in the preseason. And also, another very bit of good information there for the NBA is Carmelo Anthony, who waited forever to be able to sign with somebody, signed with the Houston Rockets, and he looks in midseason form. This was him last night. I'm shocked on how good he looks.
A lot from the Rockets. First shot of the preseason.
There we go. Yeah, one more time. There you go. Looks mid-season form there. You're going to be getting a lot of that. They didn't look altogether there, but who in their right mind can watch preseason basketball when you've got do-or-die wild card games going on and football and college now halfway through? So basketball, love you. Can't wait to talk about you. Can't wait to watch what's going on. But the reality is we're going to be spending a lot of time talking about a team that is not going to make the playoffs instead of up-and-coming teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, for instance, that nobody will pay attention to, even though they're probably going to win, 48, 49 games. But that's the way of the world. LeBron James moves the needle, folks. I don't make the rules. I just follow along. But keep this in mind, too, and we're going to talk to Ralph Michaels from WagerTalk.com tomorrow like we do every Thursday. 4-0 he was on his picks last week. So if you're planning on making a little money this weekend, he is definitely a must-listen to, must-watch event. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock, he'll join us here on the show. We know that getting shut out in the NFL is as embarrassing as it comes. We know that, okay? It is a black eye on teams in the NFL. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's pretty damn embarrassing. And we know the Buffalo Bills got shut out on the road last week against the Green Bay Packers. But here's the statistic and the trend that you need to know before you start laying money down against the Buffalo Bills this weekend, who are home, okay? Since 2011, when a team is at home after getting shut out, like the Buffalo Bills, they are 11-3-1 against the spread. That's 79%. All right, so keep that in mind. I know a lot of you Buffalo Bill haters and the Bills Mafia, you've already stuck a fork in Josh Allen and the whole season and the team, but just keep in mind that, yes, the Buffalo Bills, after getting shut out, since 2011, when a team is home the following week, they are 11-3-1 against the spread. All right, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow. We'll get into that with Ralph Michaels, who's going to be joining us from wagertalk.com. And once again, guys, want to tell you, if you are planning on making any bets, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're betting on, two turtles racing down the road. Don't do anything before going to wagertalk.com, some great free information, and check in with a dozen or so of the best, greatest, and most professional sports handicappers in the world. They all are there at wagertalk.com. You have access to them, so make sure you use that. Knowledge is power, people, and wagertalk.com gives you all the knowledge that you need. So want to thank them very much. Yankee fans, go. Want to thank you lunatics there in Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. Thank you very much for hanging out with us here tonight. And Desmond, you rule, man. Jeff, thank you very much. Michael, appreciate it. Anita, always a pleasure to see you guys. And then also want to send a big shout out to you guys on Twitch. We just opened up our Twitch page there and our Twitch page. That's going to be fun to say, isn't that? Twitch page, not Twit page, Twitch page. Our Twitch page is finally up and running. We are streaming live there every day as well at 4 o'clock. So a big shout out to you guys on Twitch. We'll be hanging out after the show and doing a little Q&A there with you guys. I can't wait to meet you. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us and stopping by the channel. You can rate us, do all the good stuff, and help us grow, and we would certainly appreciate that. So I want to thank our good friends over at Miami Acura. Once again, you guys rule. Make sure you take a test drive, the all-new 2019 RDX. It's available. Make sure you go to one place and one place only, and that is Miami Acura. All right, we'll be back again tomorrow. We'll break down the Yankee game. Yankees, A's tonight, TBS. TBS is where the game is located, and as long as I don't have to hear, as long as I don't have to listen to A-Rod and Jessica Melendez, oh, God, it's just awful. As long as I don't have to listen to them, I think we'll be good to go. But enjoy the game, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Ralph Michaels, wagertalk.com. Tomorrow is where we make some money. Make sure you guys tune in, 4 o'clock. We love you. Thanks for making us a part of your day. We'll talk to you again tomorrow here on WTF Sports TV.